Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is 803 Garage. This is a disaster. Okay, so the pool table, number one, gone. Why that outlet is right there, no idea. The other outlet is behind these things, I think. Yep, that's my subfloor. They're a little higher. I don't really care about that. I am not sure why that outlet is so far up on the wall. It's about 4 feet up. Some people aren't even 4 feet tall. That is not mold. I'm just guessing that's paint of some sort. Or I just know it's not mold. The downside to all this is somebody put the drywall on the ground. You do see a little bit of plastic there, so that might mean that it's still good. Don't know. That outlet's gonna have to move because it's way too close to where the door is gonna come in, and it's gonna be bloody awkward. Not sure what to do with that outlet. I don't know where the TV is gonna go yet because I do want to put a TV in here. I do have to clean up the rodent stuff. It's just anyways. These doors have to get installed. The ceiling has to get installed. The resilient channel, the rock stall, this window frame and all that stuff's got to come off here. The security window there, you can kick through that. It's nothing. The rest of the drop ceiling has to be removed. I want to reinforce all the framing and stuff. They see these hangers. You have to cut a piece of wood and basically do the same thing there because you can't actually fit a hanger in there. At least on the other side where it's really, really tight. That side you can probably get through with that. I'm guessing that's the wire that's coming down. I'd have to trace all these wires. This is just temporary. This light and everything just temporary. That's gonna stay. That's not gonna stay loose forever. I am going to fasten this, make sure it can't move. Seal it with tape. Seal that out with tape. That's going to be the down firing one. I want that to be in the middle of the room so it's symmetrical. And that's just things I can label off the top of my head. I do want to clean the floor, paint the floor, just kind of give it a membrane. Obviously this is going to be installed. These are pretty easy to install. You put the first one down, you stay a 1/4 inch away from the wall, and you just come across and you want to be a nice half plank. 3/4 is fine, but nothing less than 1/3, so anything like that. So there's fine, that's fine, that's fine, but anything less than that for the remainder is not good. What else can I say? Basically that outlet, I want to see if I can maneuver it right there. I do not know if that's powered, I highly doubt it. So I want one there. I'd like another one over here, and then one in the middle, one over there, one over here, and then one on this side. Specifically, I want 2 here, not so much one there. And that's because this is where, when you walk into the room, you're going to open up your pocket door, and then you're going to walk into the room. So that all being said, I want to correct all these things, or correct some of them, and I'll give you guys an update shortly. So now we're going into the room, taking down everything we just talked about, the trim, the drop ceiling, and then we're going to get into the outlet, and it is a disaster. So I planned everything out, guys. Looked at some of the stuff I had. This is garbage, so these are still usable. I'll make allotments for that, but the problem I have is that this electrical, like, that's not good. It's downright horrible. I just ripped this off because I was curious. Even the insulation is horrible because I know if I look here, yep, see how dark that is? That's because it's touching the concrete. Yeah, you can see the difference there. So, yeah, gonna have to do what I don't want to do. I wonder. Oh, there is plastic underneath. So at least there's that. Even though it's not the right plastic, at least there's plastic. I think, at least in that spot. Damn. So guys, because that's not wired properly, I'm not sure what was going on over there, and I want to do some other stuff with the wiring. I'm gonna be ripping all this out anyways, like cutting holes and doing this and that. I figured, you know what? Let's just take it all out. And as you can tell, I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. Very much so. But if you look over here, if I grab here, I just shake it. And then shake it. I can literally take this whole thing off. Kind of ripped that. I didn't really want to. I wanted to actually take it off in an entire sheet. Let's see how that goes. Time lapse. When you're demoing drywall and they start coming off in sheets, you know they were not initially fastened properly. So this is a bit of luck in my case, but the luck is short-lived because there's so much more underneath. So these drywall sheets came down no problem. Here's when I saw this, I knew something was up. That was strange. This going up here, the way this is, that was really close there. There's no really a point. Like you didn't have any, there was no worry of anybody kind of drilling into that, but it's still one of those areas that's kind of questionable. And the way this was all pulled down here, like they knew what they were doing with this nonsense. I didn't do this damage. Somebody else did this. So this was an afterthought. This is chaos. So this is gonna get fixed. I'm gonna build this out a bit more, add some structural. I'll probably put another 2x4 here on its knife, and then another stud this way. Flat face, and then back on its knife. And then this way will be all the way out here. There'll be more structure on this wall. As you can see, oh yeah, this is where the pocket door is gonna slide into. So this has to go, so then this has to be beefed up. So that's another thing altogether. So this did have to come out. I'm gonna add a couple more studs in here, specifically in this area for the TV. As you can see, that's where a spider nest was. There's another spider nest and another spider nest. Are these spider nests? They look like they are. Which one? That's one. Anyways, doesn't really matter. Lots of spiders. What else can I tell you guys? So we know this is coming from here. This was an afterthought, as you can see here. So this one's not so bad, but there should be a little bit more wires. What else? They should be taped. This over here is weak. Should be taped to finish the vapor barrier. I'm not sure what I'm going to find over here. I do know if I pull here, oh, I can't get a hold of it now. Anyways, that's a seam. So as I can see here, so that seam's got to cross this way. So we'll figure that out when we get to it. I'm going to put some screws into this kind of stuff and may firm all this stuff up. Since I know this is where I want the TV to be, I'll just put a couple 2x8s going across this way to beef all this structure up. Tie it in, and that way it's structure. I might just put one thing going all the way across and keep these in the same centers. I think these are 24-inch centers instead of the typical 16. Again, it's basement wall. The structure is the concrete behind it. I will pull all this stuff down and then restuff it, because this has just been laid right over top. So that's different. This is not as thick as it normally is. Anyways, that should be taped. There's lots of things wrong. You can see we're little bits of mold. Not really a big deal though, to me anyways. So, and I'm just the average Joe. So we're gonna go back to ripping all this stuff down. I'm gonna try to save the drywall, since there's only like 10 screws maybe per board. Usually what I do, you have your starting point, there'll be 2, and then the corner bead will have a bunch of screws in it. Then you have 4 for every foot I want a screw. That's the way I work. So with this board coming off with just 3 screws, a couple on either end holding it, fantastic. I can reuse the drywall. I didn't think it was gonna come off like that. Let's go to work. And now we take off the rest of the drywall, which comes off a little bit more difficult. The last wall was the most difficult, being as it was all nails, so you couldn't just unscrew it and pop it off, but it was brutal. So guys, I went through and I did one of these. I put my hand on it and just kind of demonstrating with the hammer, and just checked everything out. Make sure all the nails are banged down. There's a couple I missed. There we go. That's just kind of an example. I'll check tomorrow. Actually, that'd be awesome. So you can see there's a random allotment of insulation. This is not how you insulate. When you switch insulation down, it actually loses a bit of our value because it's all about the air that's inside the layers of insulation. So all the squished components and stuff, not good. So what I'm probably going to do is take all this plastic down, take all this insulation out, put it into a giant pile. I'm going to wear a respirator. I'm not wearing one today. I should have been. Didn't do that. And we're going to re-insulate. Part of that process will be me running the electrical. So I'll find out where I want the electrical to come from, drop it down. I want to be an outlet, an outlet, an outlet. And then I'll figure out some other stuff for the net wiring. Over here, outlet for power, outlet for power, outlet for power, outlet for power. I'm going to delete all this extra stuff. This wall I wanted to take down for a while. As you can see, she is not attached. But how you tell the difference between good framing and bad framing, I can hit that, nothing happens. Now, on the fair note, I come over here. These are only attached to the beginning, the top, which I meant to say is the beginning, and the bottom. You can see how they move. That one's actually pretty good. Come over, that's a wall. Sorry. See how it's bouncy? Bouncy. That might be touching some concrete. That's why it's doing that. Because that one's bouncy. That one's bouncy. And that one's bouncy. That shouldn't be. That's a corner, so it's forgivable. The other part is in the very corner here, there's no wood there. Not only that, there's no vapor barrier. They just put plastic up to put plastic up. Not sure exactly why. That should have a jack stud, but that's only a window. And again, there's nothing really structure. Not like, anyways. As you can see, there's a lot to be desired down here. My level of framing is not to code, but I can see some stuff that has some problems. The insulation is layered over top, and it's bunched up at the bottoms. Different layer. You can see there's a mouse nest in here somewhere. That's kind of ridiculous. So there's a lot that's gonna get fixed tomorrow. I wanted this to be a quick little project to make a spare room. I'm gonna do it right-ish, as within budget. So you can even see where the mice have been along here, where they've made tiny little holes through all this. Tiny little holes through all this. You can see all of that. So with the excess that's bunched up there, I'm gonna drop that down, cut that off. That'll go into the garbage. This, if I find anything that's bad, that'll be just cut out, put in the garbage. You can see where the black mold is and stuff like that. Again, that'll be cut out, put it to the garbage. I don't need a lot of insulation. These are only 2x3 in structure, so I'm gonna fix this. So first things first, I'll start from the beginning. Vapor barrier gone altogether. Insulation, we're gonna stack it nicely. Wear your respirator, wear your safety glasses, and get to work. So it's a lot of things are messed up in this, but it is what it is. Gonna fix all the wiring, get it all right. Gonna brace this up. It's gonna be crazy. Once I open this up, it's gonna get crazy tomorrow. I'll be inundated. I'm gonna fix that so that there's a nice solid corner. My friends are messaging me like crazy right now. They're like, where's the latest upload? Where's the latest upload? This corner is gonna be framed in. Everything's gonna be screwed. I'm gonna tie it into the structure up here. You can see it's nailed right there. If I come over here, you can see that there's a nail there. I'm gonna screw all this in and then screw all this, going across here, put a couple more braces in here, find the center of the room, put a light in the center, wire that to the switch, which is over here, and then it'll be a second switch for the pot lights going across here. So I'll wire all that stuff in, so that'll be all good to go. The ceiling will be insulated, so probably what I'm going to do is get the ceiling done. Oh, my mark's gone for that. I forgot all about that. I had this marked up in the center here before I realized how bad the drywall was, and that's what tipped me off. So that'll be moved downward facing in the center, because that used to be for the sliding door, but because it's a double wide where you can open up both doors if you're walking right through it, I didn't need 3 in that place. So there was 1, 2, 3. I put it just to 1, which is fine. I know some people will be against that. I just want to do it my way. And then the third one that was in the other side of the window, so the sunroom was very warm. I'm just gonna have that downward facing into the basement. Again, the basement's gonna be warm. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be everything. There's just a lot going on in this room. And again, this was supposed to be a very simple project. It didn't end up being that way. So everything has to change, adapt, and we overcome. So for tonight, I'm dropping the hammer. I'm gonna grab a shower and get to bed. This is one of the reasons why I don't really do a lot around the house, because anything I touch, I have to bring up from this level to my level. I know other people in this world will have a different level altogether. I'm just gonna do what I can within budget and make it right. So, top of the world, or top of it, I'm just overwhelmed. All the electrical has to get changed, the insulation has to get fixed, framing has to get fixed, and then we can start putting it all back. Have a good night. Peace.